Hello and welcome to the herd coverage of the Zwift Racing League playoffs. So up first is the women. We are about 3 minutes from race time. And here we go. So here this afternoon here and at different times around the globe, we've got Nate, we've got Bowser, and we've got Ange.
Hello.
Hi.
Afternoon.
Okay, Bowser, who are you following?
I'm following the lone Woolly. Is it Victoria?
I believe it is.
Yes.
Okay, and Nate?
I got Marceline in the B race, and I heard a little Blue Penguins, I believe, or one of the Penguins teams.
Okay, and Ange?
I'm going to be following Ellie today from the herd of Emperor Penguins in the D race.
Okay, and for right now, I've got Alice from the Chinstrap Penguins, and yeah, we'll see. We'll probably move around a little more than we normally do in our broadcasts, just to follow the race as it develops. So. The course for this race is Legends and Lava. This is a relatively new route. Not a lot of races been done. What does everybody think about the route?
It's going to be interesting because straight away you're in the Desert Pen, you're turning right into Titan's Grove, and then you have to deal with the rollers, and then Titan Grove's reverse straight away, which is obviously with the first preem. So I expect full out chaos for the first 5 minutes, a lot of pain from the riders. I see even the potential of splits before even the first preem, just because the rollers in the Titans Grove could be hurtful for a lot of people. And then the race, as this season has been, all the routes seem to be kind of a selection race pretty quickly with the routes that they've chosen this year. So. It's going to keep along with the theme for sure that there's going to be mini groups all over the map, and can you fight back and get back on the lead group or that next group to get as much finishing points as you can?
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree. This is like I think this is like one of the most fun routes probably in the game, just because I think it has something for everybody. Nothing that is, an effort over 10 minutes. The end up the volcano will be tough, but I think it's got something for everybody, so it should be pretty entertaining.
I agree. It's definitely not going to be as bad as going up the epic KOM, but definitely going to split the pack a lot, especially on that last climb. So. It will be interesting to see who can persevere to the top there.
Do you think we see a split before the Titans Grove KOM?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
But I think it'll probably happen just before that. I could see that happening, for sure. Especially in the having ridden with the B group, I would see that happening. In the Bs for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be close. I mean, and again, obviously, this route's perfect for obviously if people remember doing the opener off in the Bs. So we'll see what happens here straight away. But I remember, and obviously, this was the baseline test for Zwift Academy and the finish line. So I mean, it has the 3 points. It has your sprint test, your VO2, which is the Titans Grove, and then your threshold, which is obviously your final climb. So it's got hitting basically all areas, and seeing who is the complete cyclist.
Yeah, I was doing some research on the course earlier, and when I saw that that's what they used for Zwift Academy, I just thought that was pretty interesting for it to be the final race.
For sure.
So the Bs are off. So we've got yeah, pretty much. Well, it's the whole pack. And yeah, looks like 58 starters. So
Yep.
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, 58, and they're the straightaway they're into Titans Grove reverse. I mean, again, there we go, 0.6 kilometers in, and they're already about to hit rolling road. So hopefully they're all warmed up. The pack, I think, will get through the first rollers pretty quickly, but if you're near the back, you got to be careful not to be on the wrong end of the split.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things just to also think about, since, this is the championship, all these riders are so experienced now and so smart. I think they're going to do everything to not let it string out. That's my guess. I think they're just probably in the Bs just too smart to do anything before they fully crack.
Yeah, I'd actually say I expect probably bigger gaps and things to string out faster in the Ds, and part of that is just that there's so much less draft effect. It's
Tell me about it.
yeah. So and
sorry.
Here come the Cs.
So Bs are already on their first little climb. It's already 3-4%. I see a lot of herd at the front, which is nice, smart. Group racing, you definitely want to be in that top third just in case people do attack. There is interesting that if there is that last little roller before the KOM is a little bit steep and there's an opportunity to launch an attack, it'll be interesting to see if someone does trying to go early, or they just ride the pack all the way with the draft down to it and then attack from there.
I can tell you that just following Victoria, that she's in the front of her race, but they're just starting the twisties and initial rollers as well, heading in Titans Grove. So she's doing just fine as the lone Woylies representative. What a brave way to race, for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, I get it. It's not at a convenient time for the APAC riders. So it's I believe it is 5 o'clock in the morning for Victoria right now.
Which is even more commitment.
Yeah, I mean, that's definite commitment, but I mean, I think it's great to still have a herd jersey, in any of these finals. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
So the Bees seem to be staying together nicely. There's a few that are just clinging on the back, but overall the pack's going to be together for the first KOM, and then we'll see it strung out. And the big question is, will people be able to catch on to that lead group once they get dropped, or is the lead group just going to be too strong and pull away from the rest of the pack? Because Titans Grove in this direction is quite kind of downhill compared to the other way, so you can relax a little bit and push if you're behind. So it'll make it interesting. I mean, you've definitely got to push if you're behind and hope that the lead pack before they get to the downhill is not pushed that hard.
Yeah.
Right, that's your only real chance of getting back on is there. But once they hit the downhill going down towards back to the tunnels again, I think the lead pack will just turn on the power again and pull away.
I mean, these packs still look pretty large in each of the races. I see a split in Ellie's group.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks like that's pretty. I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks. Yeah, there is a significant split. It looks like 7 seconds already.
Yeah.
The Bees still look pretty much all together, though.
Yeah, I don't see anyone on the map that's back. Oh, there's one maybe at the back, or two at the back.
Yeah.
So there's a minuscule one that might have had difficulties in the pen or just missed the group at the start.
The C's are also very tight packed for the most part, maybe 3 off the back, but Nothing too crazy, honestly, going on for Victoria.
So the bees are now on the downhill. So I'll switch my view, and it'll be interesting to see how strung out this group becomes. As they basically got one little uprise, the pace is now pretty frantic. Going through the little wiggles, and then about to come up.
Wow, yeah, that
The Penguins, the Emperors that race is blown up. Everybody's already in a bunch of different groups.
yeah,
Very
so-
different from the other races, huh?
Well, and that's what I was saying with the D's. I'm not that surprised, and that's you always see the slightly lower speed. There's less effect of the draft, and as you know, all the arguing that's been going on about categories recently, it's the widest category. So you're even in this race, you're going to have a wider power capacity than women's B, which I think is one of the best, where the whole category is only 0.5 watts per kilogram wide.
Yeah, I mean
That is true.
they're doing great, the ladies. To be honest, I mean it's a little strong at the back, but it looks a strong core pack that's pushing. I mean they're halfway up the KOM, and I'm surprised there's no one really. I mean, either they're all pushing at the same level, but there's not really been an attack yet. I mean, usually in the men's C race by this point, there's a big long string at the front, but I can see, 30 people strong, pretty much in a pack, in a blob going up this first KOM here. Which I think won't be the same when the guys start in about 20 minutes or so. I think you'll definitely see huge attacks, and here he goes. There's a few attacks now by the herd, so they've left it late, but looks like 1-2, Team and Marjolaine are pulling away at the front. So it's a strategic planned attack just to sit on the front and then push it with the last 300-400 meters. Marjolaine looks as though she's going to get first points over the line here.
Looks like Lauren's in the top 5. Lauren was top 10 anyway, for sure. So yeah, it looks like the Littles did very well on that one.
But that looked like a strategic team attack of let's not push it until the last bit, and just know that maybe they had the threshold, but also the sprint power to kind of push over the top. And now we're seeing that attack has caused big splits, and now everyone's going to be scrambling for, okay, am I going to be in the lead group? Am I going to be in the chase group? Or
what's going to happen?
I'm just watching Victoria right now. She's just on the tail end of this long snake of a group of 56 riders, just coming up to the top of the KOM. So I hope, I think if she keeps with it and pushes over the top, I think this could come back together. But she's still just hanging on. It is so strung out, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's a long string of riders. I think this is a deceiving climb. I know that when I've done it, I've tried multiple ways of attacking this climb with sprint and carry speed, and then you collapse at the top. It's a consistent riding. I think with this, the way these groups are, it's just fine to keep a draft. There's just too much left after going over the top. Hopefully she can get back with the group.
I'm just looking at Ellie here, and it looks like she's been riding by herself for quite some time now. She's probably about in between the lead pack and the back pack. Really nobody around her, so hopefully she can connect with some others and help her to get through this race.
So the bees are about split in half now. There's about 34 in the front pack, which is still quite surprisingly strong. To over half the field to be in the lead pack after a pretty brutal KOM. It just shows, as Craig was saying, just the strength of the field.
Yeah, and just if you're not warmed up, that's a pretty tough start to go straight into those rollers, followed by that KOM.
And then this is obviously now there's no significant chase group that's all splat out kind of all over the road. So there's maybe one or two that might have a small chance of getting in, but the last I saw it was like 4 seconds, 5 seconds to the next group, and it's going to rise because 34 riders pushing strong on this downhill and flat. No one's getting back after that.
So it does look like. So I think Kelsey Ritter from the Butterflies is in that the chase group of 8 or 9, I think, back there in the Bees. So that group might get back on. All depends on how hard this front group pushes.
It's already. I just saw. Obviously, you can't see when they're at the front, but Marzon just kind of was at the back for a second, and it's already grown to 7 seconds.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I mean, they're on an uprise here. They're taking it kind of casual. So, I mean, if the chase pack does push now that we're into the roller section and the lead group just kind of eases and be happy, maybe there's a slight chance. But they basically got until the end of Titans Grove to get back on, because as soon as they hit that downhill on the flat, they're going to stretch back out again, going towards the Italian Villas.
Yeah, the C group really exploded over the top. It looks like there's about 15 different little gruppettos in front of Victoria, but she's just held up a little bit, I think, and joined a team, group of team members. So the group of 4, I think they can actually make up some time. If I were her, just sit on, because they look like they're going to push pretty hard here to try to gain some time back.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's always one where, you can try to keep them from trying to dislodge you too much by putting in a couple little token efforts, but that's or that's what
I think at these speeds you could probably
anyway.
sit on. Yeah, I mean, she definitely eased up, knows that she needs to stick with this group based on what she's been doing, and I think at the speeds, especially through here, I don't think they'll be able to drop her. So hopefully she can ride up and they can get a little bit of a bigger blob.
Yeah, the last I saw for the Bees, it's now 10, 11 seconds, 12 seconds. So that chase group, 13 seconds, will not be getting back unless this front group really takes it easy on the flats going to the Italian Villas.
They look like they're moving pretty quick still. So
they're going quick, and it's 34 strong. So just the overall draft pool, even a big, strong time trial effort in the back will still be a little bit too much, I think.
Yeah. So just looking at Zwift Power right now, I think it looks like there are 4 riders from the Little Penguins in the front group in the Bees, and plus maybe one from the Butterflies in Aaron T. So good job on both teams there. And yeah, in the C's, looks like there's about a 15-second gap between the front group and the second group. The second group is enormous, though, so we'll see how that works out. Victoria is isolated pretty far back now, so.
I just heard some requests for you to turn your volume up a little bit on your mic.
I will do
during
so.
The broadcast.
Well, thank you.
Freaking peanut galleries on top of it. I feel a little bad that we haven't been paying attention to the Chinstraps and Alice down there, who's I don't know what's going on, but she's got a pretty good effort. She's in a little small group, but just behind the main pack's 15th. That's still pretty good spot.
Oh, that's solid, yeah. So it does look like a pretty good bunch in the front there, but of herd riders, but it's Yeah, it's mayhem. And it looks like different riders than it was before. I got to admit, I can't keep track of what's going on here.
Ellie's still looking pretty good in the D group. She's still riding by herself. She's dropped a couple places, but she is maintaining a steady pace. And she's catching up to those two that just passed her. So it looks like she's trying to make a break for a larger group, maybe, and hopefully she can maintain the pace that she currently has. Looking pretty good.
Yeah, it looks like she's pretty locked into a pace there. I've been watching her for a little bit too.
Yeah, so I think she's trying to catch up with Amy Potter, and work with her. So we've got the Emperors and the Chinstraps in this race, but
right, yeah.
That group of three other riders, team riders with CLS, have not been able to drop Victoria, so she's doing what I would consider quite a smart ride through here, and just hanging on to their wheel.
So looking at the standings from where they're at. So in the Bs, we got Herda Little Penguins were 5 points out after the TTT. Butterflies were 9 points adrift. So I mean, it's going to be tough for the Penguins to catch up 5 points, but to catch up 2 to get a podium is definitely not unheard of. So I mean, they've still got a great chance for a podium here.
Well, and I think there's a pretty good chance on that first climb that they had they definitely had 1-2, and I think Lauren was somewhere between 5th and 7th. So that's a lot of points.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, it's not over for a long shot, and then it depends how strung out the race gets after the sprint. I mean, again, if they dominate the sprint and then stretch that field out going towards the KOM, then it could make it very interesting. And then we have the C's with the Woylies. They were a little bit far back after the TT, which is tough. You know, once you kind of get into it with all the teams around the zones, the competition just goes sky high. Herda Penguins had a great time trial and finished second, so they've got everything to play for today. Because if you win the scratch race, then you win it overall, no matter where the other team places.
Yeah. In
terms of if you're only 1 point behind, so I believe at least that's the tiebreaker. So if they win it, then it's theirs.
I think that's the tiebreaker. I think we've dealt with that before.
Yep.
You guys have.
Yeah.
Well, we dealt with that a year ago, so I didn't look at the rules this year if it's still the same, but that's what they usually do. And then the other teams are there to be placed and to just enjoy it. I mean, it's an achievement just to get to this stage.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an incredible achievement. I know we were talking just before the broadcast about how many just herd teams we've grown to for this, and I think it was somewhere around 50, something like that.
I think it was 57 or 59 teams between women's and the mixed. So yeah, no, we've it's a lot of teams, and we've done very well. I'm not sure. There was 1 or 2 teams that had a little bit of trouble, but I think other than there might have only been 1 or 2 races that we didn't get a full team into all season. So that was great.
Yeah, I mean, that's incredible, and I think, a lot of hats should go off to the people who do the work in the background to put these teams together and organize all this. Pretty incredible, and just seeing her jerseys out in these finals is pretty awesome. Back to the racing. Enough of an advertisement.
I got the ladies and the Bs here. They are 14 kilometers in after 20 minutes, so that just shows you how quick this race has been. and they've already done 170 meters of climbing. They are just going over the stone bridge onto the longest 1% climb in the game. This just goes on and on and on forever. A place actually though that you can actually catch up if you're in a close behind, because if there's a small lead group and a bigger chase group, just that little push on this uphill can get you back on. But apart from that, it's just basically stick in the draft, just goes on and on and on and drag. But they're looking strong.
Where's our next points at? Where's that sprint? Is that coming up for them?
Yep.
Sprints like 2 to 3 kilometers, I believe. Again, this is a long climb. They go up into the villas and then they hit the sprint, followed by the S's, which will be interesting to see if people attack to try and get away from the volcano, or if they just want to stay back.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a trickier sprint than it looks. I mean, I'm sure everybody's sprinted through this banner before, but just, that 1% isn't much, but you're still pushing a little bit harder. And then by the time you get to the top, there's those 2 little rollers too, so your legs just aren't going to be perfect even if you're sitting in, I don't think. Even though this group is huge, so I see they're not doing that much.
I mean, the key is catching the draft on this one. So I mean,
absolutely,
you need the group to start pushing to get the draft effect, to get your top speeds up. I mean, again, especially for FTS, so that's where like a big chase group can actually get FTS points on this if they were just slightly behind. But for this, you're going to get fall on FTS points all coming from this group here, unless you've got big sprinters off the back. But even then, I can't see it because it's you need that momentum going into it.
Yeah, I think that group's just going to be too large. But I was looking at Alice's group and the Chinstraps. I think they're the second group on the road, but that's the size of a group. If knowing that the first group can only be about 10 riders, they can steal the FTS points, I think.
Yep. I mean, I'll say again, the FTS doesn't have to come from the top people across the line on this one. It's if you're smart and you ride the back and you just burst through, catching that draft all the way through compared to being the solo rider out front, you could actually get the FTS points here.
Yeah. Although not in the Bees with the size of group that they have.
No. It's coming from that group for sure.
Well, it's going to come from the group, but I'm saying it might not come from the same people across the line first, because if somebody breaks away at the start and then somebody is coming through the back of the pace and people are pushing, they might still get that FTS even though not crossing the line first, because of using the draft the whole way rather than being a breakaway sprinter, which you're never going to be at full speed unless you're, again, an amazing sprinter. It's always going to be close, but there is a chance that the FTS does come through the pack rather than being the leader.
I'm just still watching Victoria over here. She's on the 1% too, still with this group of CLS riders. And it's interestingly, I mean, they are actually making up time on this larger group in front of them, but it's still going to be really tough. They're kind of in a little bit of a no man's land with this group of 4.
Just looking at Ellie right now, it appears that she has found a little groupette with some other herd riders. So there's some drafting happening now, so hopefully she'll get a little chance to take a break here and catch her breath a bit to finish strong for the rest of the race here.
I was looking at, I feel like her power is just plus or minus 10. She just stays pretty locked in.
Yeah, she's been pretty consistent.
Yeah.
And the Bees are
the opposite of how I ride.
Wow, there's a lot of herd jerseys at the front of that sprint group there.
Yeah, Tina, Lauren, and Marjolaine for sure were all up there, and there's a 4th rider up there.
There's four green. I don't know if they're all little penguins, but if they were, that's a lot of points.
So there were definitely 3 of the little penguins. I didn't see who the 4th was. That might have been one of the butterflies, but yeah, that's solid. And they all the pack was all together, so I don't think anybody's going to get a really big boost on the FTS either.
No, but there we go. There's the attack that I thought might happen. The ones that were just behind the sprinters decided to push through the back, and now there is a string out on that hill. There's 1, 2, 3. Marjoron caught it. There's a few people at the back for sure that they should be okay. I don't think the pack will lose because they got such a big stretch to get back. But there's a couple people for sure that maybe didn't have the greatest sprint, thought they might get back on, and have been dropped because of an attack on that first hill.
Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer to at least try it there if you have some legs. I would have said absolutely do the same. That group is way too large to get into the end, especially if you have some people that you can drag. Like, it does look like they've strung it out, so hopefully at least they can drop a few off the back.
I still remember about a year ago I did that to Ben Point. Ben and Herd Winter Race, that I attacked him on that point when it was a finish line downtown and managed to stay away by about 2 seconds. So, but that's when we weren't going for the sprint. Everyone was just casually going through the sprint point, and then I used that first hill to launch an attack. And it's, if you time it right, you can catch them off. But I think in this race, when there is a sprint, they're already pushing so hard that it's harder to actually make damage.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely had someone attack there and get a pretty significant gap. But that was coming into the finish, not going into a climb.
Exactly. Anyway, I'm going to have to switch over in a minute to being a team car for Mentality. I will switch back and forth because I'll be obviously watching them, and there will be a few lulls where they won't need me, but when it gets close to the preem points, I'll kind of I'm there just to be eyes on to push them through. So,
well, thanks.
They've got a chance.
Yeah.
They've got a chance to be world champs again for the second time in less than a year. They dominated the time trial, which was a lot harder this year because it was all solo times and basically a race against the clock. At least in the America East, where there's no other times against them. So credits to them just being able to put the perfect time trial together, basically racing themselves.
Excellent. And just kind of a programming note, we are going to switch to watching the Mentalities race, and so we'll switch one of the 4 views, and then as the women's races finish, we'll cut over.
Have a good one, guys, and I'll flip back and forth when I can.
Yell loud at them, please.
Yeah, I will. I'll do my best by answering.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.
It looks like there's a slight split with the with Alice and the front of that race. It looks like just clinging onto the rear here. If she pushes over this hill, she should still stick with that.
Well,
I believe it's still the second group on the road.
I think she had been in the second group, and then I think this group has caught up to Group 1.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I knew the second group was still pretty decent sized.
Yeah, she is riding in 20th position, so...
Just clinging on that back, though, it's... oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
And-
think
Makes me
she's...
nervous.
Well, so I'm not sure they've fully bridged yet. I think this is still the second group trying to make the catch.
It looks like you might be right based on how many riders are ahead of her.
Yeah, and she's putting out quite a bit of watts right now, too, so... There she goes. She's making the bridge there.
I did get just a note from our chat that Sam of the Emperors apparently has made it into the front group. So they do have some chance at some great points. We were talking about where they were in the standings.
Yeah. I'm gonna move forward in that group here and see.
And it looks like the B group is starting their climb.
Yep, and
Yep.
there were some attacks leading into it. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, and it looks
They're
like
just at the start, yeah.
yeah, there's some efforts being made definitely by our herd penguin ladies. Doing a great job.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to attack right before the beginning of that climb, though. I think you want to make sure you carry that draft as long as you can into this climb without losing, somebody off the front. So yeah, it looks like it kind of came back. Hopefully,
Yeah.
I saw Marjolaine was up there.
Yeah, no, it came back completely. Yeah, that's quite the race. So the mentality is off. They're going hard. There's already a couple riders that are a couple seconds off the back. So that's going to be tough for them to get back on if they're going to manage it. I see Sean Fogenberg taking his best race tips from you and hanging right on the back there, Bowser.
I mean, I don't know if that's still the best race tip, but those guys are they're smart enough. They know where they got to be in the group by now.
Well, and this is a strong group. I don't think it's going to split much.
Yeah, I'm trying to switch over to them right now on my screen as well, just so I can hop around a little bit. But it looks like they're in the front group, but moving pretty rapidly. I have a feeling this is going to be a pretty punishing race. It looks like we were able to pull up Sam from the D race with the Emperor Penguins, and yep, they're just going through the rollers after the bridge. She's in the front group, looking good.
Yeah, and it does look like, man, that group just behind with Alice is just still dangling there. It's
tough to watch, I know.
Yeah, so hard to watch. So yeah, the coach and DS in me is saying, absolutely, put in a hard effort and get on that group. It's easier to be on it than to follow it like that. But sometimes you just don't have that extra little bit, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't see if people are doing some sort of wonky efforts off the front. I would guess that maybe those front riders are a little bit more rested since, this chase was able to catch up, so they may be trying to just make it difficult for those people who may be gassed from bridging.
Yeah, so yeah, I see still 4 herd riders right at the front of this very large B group hitting the bridge through the volcano. This is a huge group this late in the race.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible that they've that it's still stayed this large. I have a feeling that we're going to see some pretty high numbers for the second half of the climb. Right here is kind of your last, reprieve. No surprise with the Mentality Boys' very large group of C1. I don't know if anybody's actually been spat off the back of that group. Looks like the entire field is together just going through the rollers before the Titans Grove KOM.
Yeah, and I mean, really, it's probably not worth too much of an attack here because it always more effort to make the attack than to follow it, and you're just softening yourself up for the one that counts on the KOM.
Yeah, I fully expect some pretty wild, basically sprints, probably using that downhill into a full sprint for that KOM with these guys.
Yeah, no, it's going to be, and I think some of them are going to keep the power on across the top because that's one of the few spots where you really can fracture the group. So. Holy cow, I cannot believe the size of that group in the Bees.
Yeah,
I believe
it's
it.
not even strung out, is it?
No, it's still a great big
No.
clump. It's yeah. So Aaron T, Marjeline, I think all 5 of the herd riders that were there are still in that group.
Everybody's digging deep. Everybody wants the W. So, no mercy until the last 10 meters, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, my guess is that just because that group stayed so large, it just allowed people to sit in just too much their attack right here is just too draftable.
Yeah.
That's the only way I could see it staying this tight.
Well,
Yeah.
and
We'll see.
that's one I've always said about this climb is it is very the draft makes such a difference because yeah, my fastest climb on this was in ZRL in a really strong group, and I couldn't match it solo.
Looks like Mentality's just starting the downhill. Well, they're just about to start the KOM, and the speed is fast. I'll be interested to see if there's any orange numbers from anybody off the front. Just trying to really attack this. Maybe just even for just the segment points with a sprinter, and then just fade off. I don't know if people will be sacrificing people this early, but I could see it.
Yeah. Now the complication there's a wrinkle here in that there aren't fastest through segment points for Titans Grove.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
Shows what I know.
And this so much looks like everybody's got the same plan to turn it into an uphill sprint on that last steep bit in the Bees here.
Yeah, it's just how early do you go?
Yep.
I don't think you go first.
So it looks like they're going. Well, everybody's going now.
there's
Marjolin,
only-
Aaron, Lauren.
200 meters left. So
Yeah, this is it. This is the end.
go now or don't go at all.
5, 5, 6.
8.
Ooh.
I don't know what happened there, but Marjolin and Lauren were definitely among the very first group, the very lead group, but could not tell what happened.
Looks like almost everybody has a power up. Oh, and there's somebody over the line, I think. Oh yeah, there we go. Well done, little penguins and butterfly penguins or butterflies. They're not penguins. They're butterflies.
They're butterflies, yes.
Yes.
The rest of the women are still on the climb. My companion app is being very upset. I'm watching Sean in the C's with Mentality. It looks like that group is strung out very similarly to the C women's race, actually.
Yeah, very much.
They're over the top, though.
Yeah, they're over the top. So I think the group behind them and the group Sean's in will probably come together, and I think it'll probably come together with the group in front too. But I don't know. It's tight. 4 seconds is a lot through here.
I think it'll probably come back a little bit. That's my guess.
Me too. But it's just a big enough gap that that I'd be worried if I were in here.
Yeah, I mean, just you're to burn too many matches that you didn't want to burn originally.
Yeah. So it looks like Sean and Gino Conti are both in this group.
I may actually be. It looks like I'm going to be able to pull them up. So, nope. I'm not on my normal racing computer. It's just a little bit different. That front group's large. Yeah, you'd have to put in an effort to get onto that. That's still over 30 riders in that front group.
Yeah. Okay. So it looks like... Yeah, here we go. So Victoria is on her way up. It looks like Katie
Just
Houdon
out of the mountain.
finished. Catherine Rose and Vicky Sue are both coming close to the finish in the Bs.
I'm seeing. It looks like the group behind the front of Mentality. It looks like that group is. Man, they're so close.
Yeah.
I think I think it's worth. It looks like that group is just motivated just enough to probably dig over one of these big rollers and rejoin.
Yeah. Well, and so that group that was behind joined the one that Sean and Gino were initially in. It's big enough. They're going to come together.
Looks like Rose from the Butterflies just about to cross the line.
Yep.
53rd, going over the top.
Good stuff. And we have Vicky just a little bit behind. Okay, I think we're gonna try and bring that camera over to the D men's race here in just a moment.
Great. I'm still trying to get my companion after work, so I'm watching the stream pretty much like everybody else right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. Mine's still not functioning.
Okay,
Just
so
a
it
bit
looks like
cranky.
Sean has, so the C group, so that's all come back together. I don't know. I haven't looked at Zwift Power Live yet to see exactly how that's gone on, as far as how big that group is or what's off the back of it. So looking through the looking at the D races, so we have Carl of the Centaurs is sitting in 41st, so we should have the Centaurs and the herd of powerful Pronghorns in the D race and the Mentality in the C. Coming up here as we watch the finish of the C and D women's races.
Yeah, it looks like Victoria's pretty close to the top. That's looks like it was the second bridge.
Hey guys,
Hello.
so Mentality had a good first KOM.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I saw it looked like it's tough to get back, right?
They got back on. They got 5 at the 6 back. So Gino just pushed back through Titans, which again was the only way he was going to get back.
Yeah, I saw they were just barely off the back there, but that's worth a good effort.
So they got 5 now in the league group with 4 points of first and there. So it's all to play off, all to play on for sure. I mean, they only really have to match TFCs, I think, on these. I mean, Rhino's kind of tacked in, but they're a couple of back. I mean, unless the other top team's having a disaster, it's if you're more than, I think, 3-4 points back after the time trial, it's pretty hard to claw the victory at the back.
Yeah, I mean, they're set up nicely. I was looking at Sam here, who's just off the back of the top 10. She's been in that front group the whole race. I think it looks like she's probably just going to settle in here once you lose that draft at these
tough
speeds.
To get back, yeah. And so
Yeah.
she's looks like 15 seconds adrift of the front group. So it looks like somebody else just dropped off the front group. That's 10 seconds up on her right now. I mean, depending on how blown each of those two riders is, that could come back together. And
I think they're the same team too.
Yeah,
So-
looks like she's got about 15 seconds behind her. So definitely worth a big push.
Yeah, and I saw Victoria just finished, so good job on her for waking up super early and representing her team solo. I believe came in pretty much where she's been the whole race, I think around upper 50s.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, because she left the couple riders she had been riding with. So, yeah, very very strong result there.
It looked like Sean has been really sitting on saving power since the KOM. The group is just so large. There's just no reason not to. They're just going, looks like, under the water area.
Looks like Sam is making a last effort here, sprint to the finish line. But 100 meters to go, I think.
Yeah, really strong ride there.
How did the B ladies do?
So
Really well.
Yeah, we don't know yet, but that was it was a huge group that made that got to the finish, and yeah, was very much. So it looks like Marjolin was second, Lauren was fourth, Aaron T, I think, was ninth for the butterflies, and yeah, it looks like Anae dropped back a little bit from that lead group, and Tina as well on the climb. But
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely great result by both her teams and the Bees.
That's
And
awesome.
Sam is just finishing now at 10th.
Yeah, good job on Sam.
Emperor Penguins. Well done, ladies. Great racing.
Definitely. And just as we start to switch over to the men's racing here.
Mixed racing.
Mixed. You're right. Although I think on both of our team, or all three of our teams that we have, it is none of the women that race on those teams, because there are a couple, are in this race.
We had Christine in the Atlantic, and was very thankful for that,
Yeah.
because when it came to going uphill, she dominated. She actually, I think she won by over a minute on the Climber's Gambit. After being dropped in Titans Grove, she really pushed in Titans and managed to get back on with the lead pack, because the punch is just not her strength, and then she just rolled away to victory on the epic.
No, absolutely. So right now we've got Armando Diaz and Matt O'Connor, both from the herd of powerful pronghorns together in a group a little further back. And Carl from the Centaurs is in a group of about 8. And looks like they're nearly a minute back now, but he's sitting in the kind of 35th to 40th place for the D's. And we're following right now Sean Fogenberg and Felipe Alberto with the Mentality, both in the front group still.
I believe it's Philippe. So we.
It is. I'm sorry.
I think for the sprint, you want to switch over to Derry and just watch him explode away.
Give me a second.
Derry will be one of the guys who's going, if he's still got the energy, going full out. He's an unbelievable. Him and Justin, I think, are the sprinters on this. Sean and Philippe will do well, but I think the attacks will come from Justin and Derry.
Okay, so with that inside information, we'll try to do that here. So yeah, I've got. We'll follow Matt and Justin as we go up this very long 1% on our way to the sprint.
It feels like deja vu.
It is. It is.
Yeah, we should see some pretty good numbers here. Everybody's noodling in this front group for sure.
Looking at Zwift Power, the sprint charts were off the roof. I mean, I think TFC, Rhinos, there's a few other teams there had Create, the Irish team, they have crazy sprinters. I mean, our herd guys are good, but some of these stats were unbelievable of how much power some of these sprinters have.
No, definitely.
I mean, there's a few 1,000-watt plus sprinters in this pack, which for C is quite impressive.
I hit that yesterday, just saying.
I still haven't cracked 900, so.
No, I actually just pulled up the list of riders too, and yeah, there's some pretty big numbers here for the C's.
Anyway, I'm going to jump over in a second just to
Yell louder at them, please.
Yeah.
Yell loud, but also just help them through the S's get back on, because again, that's the one plus side that they do have is the. Oh wow! And John's chase group is actually only 7 seconds back, so they were. That's an interesting thing. They were 17 seconds in Titans Grove, and now they're only 7 seconds back. So that just shows you that this league group has been chilling.
Yeah, very much.
So okay. John might be able to get close and jump back on in the S's. We'll see.
It looks, yeah, I was just seeing, it looks like the front group actually just realized this, because I'm seeing some spikes.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to jump over and I'll see you guys in a bit.
Yell. Yeah, it looks like for those guys, maybe people are trying to go early, split it up before the actual sprint starts.
Yeah, and I think it's just I'm pretty sure these guys have all scouted, so there may be a good sprinter or two in that group that's a couple seconds back that somebody doesn't want into the group.
My companion app is still so fussy.
So we're following it. We've got Matt Derry and Justin Curran both among the Mentalities racers in this very large front group still. So it looks like Matt Derry is going very early.
Yeah, he can carry some power.
So he is gone. He is long gone, He's got 20 meters on the field. He is absolutely still orange numbers. And Ellis from the Rhinos looks like he's going to... Matt hangs on for 5th across the line, and looks like Philippe may have gotten a top 10 as there as well. Man, that is some crazy sprinting.
It's long with that little uphill bit right at the end when your legs are already on fire.
Yeah, I think that's really early to go on that sprint. I mean, it's one thing to go there if coming from the back to try and tailgun the sprint, but that's hard. Huge power for a long time there from Matt for those for that 5th place.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's no surprise here. Teams attacked after the sprint in the C group, so it looks like it's going to be a tough effort to just hang on down through these little rollers here. It's also my guess that somebody in mentality probably is also going to be attacking over the top.
Yeah, I would wager, given how much Nate wanted to get over there. Yeah, it looks good. I think I see 5 mentality riders in the still in that front group. So they did lose.
Can't say I'm surprised.
Yeah, they did lose. I think it was another 3 riders there, but none of the mentality. So over in the D's, we've got Tony Thomas with the herd of powerful Pronghorns from America's West. So he's hanging on at the back of this front group that's 33 strong, and Armando Diaz and Matt is with Matt O'Connor, both of the powerful Pronghorns, and they're sitting, I think, in 63rd, 64th, 65th. They're in a group with another rider from WMZ. I'm gonna click around here and see if I can find somebody from the Centaurs, though. I know they had trouble, and I don't believe they have a full team, so I might be doing a little bit of needle hunting.
Yeah, I was just looking at the both the mentality riders we have up. Totally just recovering, doing very low watts. So
yeah,
no shocker there. I'm sure this is going to be one hell of a climb. I see Thomas also going through the sprint.
Yeah, going through the sprint, doing well. So looks like he's kind of going more for fastest through segments. I think that is... I need to check my notes here as I see Sherwood there as well. We'll have to wait to the end to see Craig Sherwood, Keen Frisk, who was very close to the front, so he may have gotten some points there. And then so Scott Whitney and Tony Thomas are in this front group from the powerful ponies, or sorry, not ponies, the powerful Pronghorns. We've got too many similar
there's
names.
a lot of double P's in the herd names. Pacing Palmenos.
Yeah. So the powerful ponies actually were the first couple seasons of ZRL were the B team in America's West. Then when that team changed to the Griffins, the HOPP swapped to the D team with the powerful Pronghorns.
I heard Nate hop back in. How's it going in the
just for a second?
Room?
Yeah, they feel quite positive. They they're feeling it for sure because this is a strong group. I mean, Derry did well there he maybe went a little bit too early. But I mean, he's got the power, and he did there to be up in the top kind of contention. So he got some good points again on that sprint. It's close. I mean, I think TFC at this point might just be slightly ahead.
Yeah, Matt's a pretty bold rider. I feel like he can make some of those interesting moves stick when you think it's impossible.
But anyway, they're about to hit the volcano, so I'm going to go back to them and see how they kind of finish.
Okay, thanks for checking in, Nate.
Take it back.
With our new check into the team car segment.
As long as we don't join their room.
Yeah. Yeah, that can get a little spicy. So right now it looks like Sean is looking to tailgun the volcano climb. So those extra few points for fastest through segment. He is a few meters off the back of the league group as we go through the start of the segment, and he's worked right back on. So I think
that's a smart move.
Yeah,
I think I've raced this with them before, and no, I like that move because you carry so much speed over that first lump.
Yeah,
you might as well start in the back just to grab it, even if it's just a little bit of time over the top.
And yeah, we see 4 herd riders across at the front of the peloton here.
It's going to be a bloody finish. They have them and I guess TFC just have, I believe, both the same amount of riders in here, and are both battling for first.
Yeah, and that's going to be interesting. I know. I hate this finish. I was talking with Sean Fogenberg last night. He loves it, so we'll see if he's able to put himself in a position to attack that finish. It looks like the G Shed from Evo has attacked and has a couple seconds on the group, and it looks like Justin is taking it on himself to hunt that down. So.
Yeah, I don't think this race is going to go over with everybody waiting for the last sprint. That's my guess.
I can't see it. I think some riders are going to go for it. I think there's going to be some riders that really would rather attack.
Yeah, there's already flashes of pretty big watts for C race. Anything mid 4s at this point in the climb is pretty all out. Yeah, it looks like he's trying to claw him back. I'm hoping he's just not dragging everybody with him. It looks like
Justin's he's moved back into the group now. I think what he did was bring the speed of the group up just long enough to kill that attack. So I don't think he burned too much. And Sean is still sitting in this group, sitting a little bit towards the back. Matt Derry, Justin, everybody still just biding their time, but
it's a large group. I was just looking at Zwift Power Live.
Yeah,
it's large.
This is big. What are we? Yeah, we're... Holy cow. Yeah, I think it's still that 32-33 that it was after the sprint. So Yeah, that's quite the group, and if the mentality can get a few riders at the front at the finish here, I think it's going to be it's going to be real close with them in TFC. So switching back,
full group drafting through. Yeah, it looks like I was looking at the other race too. They're just about to start the climb, or have just started.
No, so they're just getting close to the climb right now for Tony, and in the league group, and a couple other herd riders there as well. Wow, there's a Lamas from the NZ bro. He's attacking early. Wow. Holding a steady 3-4 in the D's, 3-7. Wow.
I can't see that working out. That's just too much.
I don't know. Yeah, it looks like the group is kind of settling in around 3, which isn't crazy. I mean, I've climbed this, I think, at 4.6 or 4.7 with an FTP around 3.8 at the time. So, I mean,
yeah, I think 3 is about right for D final.
And that looks to be right around what Tony's able to hold. So, we'll see what happens with that one guy. So Carl's group is just coming up towards the start of the climb here. So he's in. It looks like this group is kind of 35th to 41st, I think. And we'll see how he goes. Looks like he's about a minute back. It looks like Carl's really planning on on hitting the climb. No, that was just repositioning, I guess. He's bumped up to 400 for just a second there. So back to the C's, and they're all still in a group, climbing hard.
Yeah, the top's coming fast, though.
It is. So it looks like they've shed a couple riders. I don't think... No, I think Philippe was one of them, and John Tickton as well. So I think, there were a couple. I think they've been shed. So I think it is Sean, Justin, Gino, and
Matt's still in there, I think.
Yeah. So I think it's the 4 that are still from the mentality still in this group.
Yeah, I mean, I think Justin or Matt both have the ability to go early and actually take this. We'll see. They have some serious power.
Never mind, Gino is still here too. This is gonna get interesting. We're starting the steep bit, and Sean's over 500. Justin's close. I don't know if he's got that much left in him. Matthew and Sean both going just crazy on this finish. Sean wasn't kidding. He does love this finish.
He does, yeah. What you can, which is nothing.
Holy cow. So
just kill yourself.
Yeah, looks like Sean won that with third place to Justin. That looks really promising for the final result there.
Yeah, I think that's another world championship for mentality. That's what I'm thinking.
It sure looks it. Wow. Okay,
Friend of the show going at 900 watts over the top. I think
that's the way to do it, but just wow.
I don't know how you have 900 watts for looked like over 15 seconds. It was pretty strong.
Yep, that is a very strong finish.
Yeah, maybe we can get a post-race interview.
I'm back, guys.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I mean, I was gonna try to get Sean down here for a post-race interview.
If
He's undying.
Once he catches his breath,
Yeah, that was an incredible sprint.
unbelievable. I mean, they might have done it
I think they did it.
because getting first is huge. Because you got the FTS, the fall, and the finishing points. TFC were up there.
Yeah,
I gotta give them credit. TFC up there, so it's all about letting it all settle and see where it all goes.
Yeah, see, I think Sean, because he started at the rear of the pack too, is going to get pretty much every single point possible for the.
Well,
climb.
he got FTS anyway. I mean, he won it, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
So, but he because I was watching Gino, but he started like a second behind as he always does on the volcano, so he had that edge over everyone. Looking at the results there, wow. So Sean won, Derry 3 official, 5th and 6th go to TFC, and then 15, 16. That could be a Herd victory because TFC only had 2 in the front. Herd had 4 in the top 17.
Yeah, I already called the World Championship for you guys. You just weren't listening to the broadcast. Just because you did enough earlier to be near the top. And
Oh, no, wait,
There's finish points.
There's unfiltered because of the bees, so
Yes.
that's why it looks weird.
Yep.
Oh well, so the TFC have a guy who finished 4th,
Yes.
so they had 3 up there.
Yeah. So they were 4th, 6th, and 7th, and you guys had 1st and 3rd. But you had 1st for fastest through segment, 1st for first across the line, and 1st in the race. I think.
Yeah, Preems, I think, are going to take it.
Yeah, and with that and what you guys did on the on Titans Grove, I think you've got it.
It's gonna be tight. It always is.
Well,
And you don't
that's
know
what you that's what you want. That's what you want.
Yeah.
That's a great
No, no.
race.
Do you have another tiebreaker? Yes, you do. So,
I think so.
yeah, exactly.
I think it's gonna be close, but let's see what the automatic things say right now.
And the
'Cause
last teams are just finishing. I see we have them all up. Getting close to the
Okay.
top of the climb.
Yeah. So we've got Craig Sherwood sitting in 7th for the Centaurs. Tony Thomas for the powerful Pronghorns in 9th. We've got Carl from the Centaurs sitting 32nd, and I see Armando sitting in 62nd. Looks like Matt O'Connor is 65th. For the powerful Pronghorn. So we'll see how this goes.
Initial league table shows mentality 1, but again, not all foul and finishing points are being processed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that should help you. I just want to also point out that just since I'm not usually on the broadcast, it looks like there were very few technical issues, so I guess I'm good luck.
Luck maybe.
Do you want me to see if I can get Sean on?
Yeah, pull him down.
Yeah, send it over.
I'll send him over.
I think that's a voice everybody would recognize anyway.
So Craig is approaching the finish line. He is. Yeah, he's locked into 7th.
Yeah, it's a good race by those guys, though.
That's a super race. And it looks like that was a 9:33 for that is a strong time for him, and a 9:37 for Tony. Those are strong climbs.
Yeah, Tony was pushing really hard at the end there.
Very much so. Yeah.
And I think he did snag a spot right the last second.
Did he get eighth?
Just
I didn't see it. Yeah.
yeah, he did get eighth. So he
for
saved
him.
something. That's a strong ride by both of them.
Yep. Okay, let me see if I can grab one of those guys.
Yeah, we're running out of riders here.
Well, we've got Scott Whitney. I gotta find.
We're at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Nate told me you wanted me to jump in.
Yeah.
Hey, congrats.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that was a stupendous finish. You didn't lie when you said you liked that finish.
I like that finish. I think, is Bowser in here?
Yeah, I'm here.
So Bowser, you remember in, what was it, last May or June when we did the recon for the TTT?
Yeah, I had a feeling that was coming out because I was a
Yeah.
B rider already. Yeah.
You and I did an extra lap up there and we're pushing each other. And I always, for whatever reason, at the end of that, I can still sprint. And
I mean, your
Yeah.
power was pretty wild to still have a sprint. I mean, you're over 900 watts for an extended period of time. I don't know if I would be able to do that.
I don't know where I never do caffeine, and I did 350 milligrams before the race, so maybe it's
Okay.
that.
I like it. I think that's a strategy. Let's stick with that then for finals.
Bowser, I gave him your best yelling, so.
It works. So, how does it feel to be two-time champions of
Wait, did we
the
win?
world? Yes.
We think so.
pretty
But,
close.
yeah, we think so.
It looks like it's about a 90% chance because your smart move, which I really like, of starting on the rear of that climb, will get
Start
you
at the rear and
every point.
don't go for any of the other things. I
Yep.
left all my matches for that, but I don't know. Matthew is super strong. He got the Titans and Sprint FAL and then also third on that climb. I don't know. That's stupid.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said Matthew Derry's the guy to watch. He's just got silly.
Yeah, I mean, I said when you guys weren't in here, I said Matt's just somebody that you will do something stupid and you think it won't stick, but it will.
Yeah,
No,
for whatever reason, he can just do that minute away from everybody.
Now the league table's changed to 39 to 39, so.
Ooh.
That would be the second time you win the championship
No.
by tiebreaker. No.
No, you guys were ahead.
They would win the title.
That means,
Yeah.
Ooh.
that means TFC won.
Well, let's see how it shakes out.
Yeah, it'll be close one way or the other. Happy with the podium either way.
I mean, nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
nothing to be-
It's either first or second.
Yeah.
It really,
mean-
it really is. Which is still to come second out of all those teams in the C division. Is
We got two guys racing from Australia at 5 a.m. One from his in-laws' house after going camping.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty incredible that you have somebody on a campsite. That's pretty big dedication.
He did actually leave and drive an hour to his in-laws' place and race from their spare room instead
Okay.
at 4 a.m. or whatever.
That's
It looks like all of our riders have completed now, Craig.
all of our riders have completed. I think. Just 1 second. No, we've just got one left, and that is Armando. Come on, Armando.
it's so tight.
I think all the herd riders today, it was pretty strong, pretty competitive racing. Seems like almost in every division we had people represented in the front group.
The women's race is finished.
I think it looked really good for the littles.
It looked good. It was actually a pretty wild race throughout, honestly.
I'll jump over to the standings now because at least their ones will probably be processed. So we don't have anyone in B's. Sorry, in C. Ooh. They're putting Herd of Little Penguins in third right now.
Overall?
Overall.
Or just today? Nice.
Overall. I mean, it's still good. I'm not saying ooh isn't bad, but...
No, that's great. They were in, I think, 5th or 6th going.
I think they were in 5th.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they jumped several points. That's
Oh,
really
they did?
well
Okay.
done. Yeah.
So
I
it
mean,
looks
getting
like...
on that podium, and
That's
is,
awesome.
what you want.
So it looks like Evo were top, Dutch second, and Herd of Little Penguins are tied, and looks as though they're ahead with the tiebreaker. So they've jumped C division.
So C division, we only had one rider. So for the women. So.
And then the D, right? Ember Penguins look as though they got third.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very well done.
So it's two podiums for the ladies. It looks like.
The C division team, the one that was all like Australia APAC type riders.
Yeah, they had one person still ride it out.
Yeah. Oh.
And then in the D, how did the D's do, the men?
So
They just finished.
yeah,
Multiple riders in the top 10, I believe.
Yeah, so it looked like two riders in the top 10, I think, in 7th and 8th. And yeah, so that was. But
Yeah,
I think they were one from each team. So I think I don't think either team was anywhere near a podium. But definitely good riding today from both teams.
It looks like the Centaurs just picked the powerful Pronghorns. So 7th for Centaurs, 8th for PP. Final standings. That's preliminary. So
Yeah, I mean, I think they were definitely heard in the front group, which is really just, they're putting in everything.
My avatar is still stuck on the halfway down the volcano, and the times just popped up, and my time and Lauren's time were 0.2 seconds away from one another.
wow.
Wow, that's.
Did she beat you or did you beat her?
I was up by 0.2 seconds.
Excellent.
That sprint got her.
You need those bragging rights. Okay,
Yeah.
so Armando is coming up the end here. He's putting in a pretty good. He's putting in a pretty good dig. He's got 12 seconds, so this is a pride dig, and doing very well. He's coming along, and what's he got for a time? A 12:41. So good job on Armando. So that's our riders finished. So
So the 13th overall time up the volcano is friend of the podcast, Dan Pedroza.
of course it is.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was a pretty. I don't know if it was a successful stream. The viewers will have to say about that, but pretty successful racing day by.
Yeah.
by
Any
the
big technical
Raiders.
difficulties?
No, I already said because I was here. It was all smooth.
And it's interesting. We're waiting to see because Mentality is on top of the table
I
with
saw that.
TFC second. So I wonder. I'll have to check the rules. I wonder if they did the tiebreaker on what they do in ZRL is it's the first across the line.
It could be. Yeah, I
I
didn't
don't
look at
remember.
the playoff specific rules. So
I don't
And-
remember that. I think. Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't know. I mean, that's what they've done for that. So it's like it could be what they've done in the past, or again, it could have been the other way. That again, if there's a tie, then it's the first person to cross the line. Here we go.
Oh, and here's Lauren.
Hello.
no, Lauren.
There she is.
Hello.
Great race, Lauren.
Thank you.
I don't know if you heard, but I was 0.2 seconds faster than you on the climb.
Dang it. I saw the time and was like, yeah.
Yeah, both those races looked like it really surprised at how big the pack still was at the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there were, for whatever reason, no attacks in our race, which I was fully expecting.
Yeah, I saw like some of the. I mean, good for you, especially when you knew that your plan was to wait for the last climb. But I saw your watts were very low in between the efforts.
That's completely different to what the America East was all season long. I mean, America East, from my knowledge, was the league of where attacks happened.
Yeah.
Like there were some crazy attacks in that league, and like the Ghost was used so many times in London. I mean, that was quite funny to watch that race, where the amount of people that are just using the Ghost to attack before the sprint.
I just wanted to. I was just reading the rule set. It looks like the tiebreaker is the highest placing rider for the final race. So, if it comes down to that, Sean, you, you and who was Matt? Was it Matt in third or Justin?
Yeah.
Both would meet that requirement. So, hopefully, congratulations.
Where's that? Where did you see that?
That's on these WTRL rule set. And you can have a beer on me tonight.
And for women's, it looks like we're third, but we had the same points as Crush Pod, so whatever the tiebreaker would be there. So.
I believe it would still be the same unless they just split it on the podium. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks,
Which I think
guys.
would be good for you, actually. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hopefully we get a bunch of herd on the podium so we can post those images around tomorrow.
Okay.
Now, next thing is James's stupid Omnium.
Yeah, I'll see you out there.
Up next is the Omnium. So yes, if anybody hasn't seen the Omnium, you're warned. It's going to be stupid, but should be kind of fun.
I'm still.
I'll see you out there too, because I'm a mixed C. This is the worst.
Great season to all you guys that raced it, and I'm glad. It looks like this. Oh, you maybe even changed. This just turned into a podcast. It seems towards the end. So.
It's all good.
But I mean, just a great representation by the herd out there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
See you guys.
I will be skipping the Omnium because the last time I tried to race that many times in the weekend, it killed me.
Reasonable.
Excuses.
Okay, well that's great, and so thanks everybody, and yeah, it was great watching
nice
all the herd racers today, and congratulations on everybody that was in the playoffs and everybody who had a good ZRL season this season. So
Start training for next season.
Those are continue training for next season.
All right, I'm out of here. Bye.
Take care, guys.
All right.
well.